Sometimes you come across a story from the medical world that's, well, it's more than just a case study. It's a real lesson learned the hard way. And this is one of those stories. It's about a single mistake that says so much about communication and even more about trust. It all starts with one phone call. And on the other end is this young, totally exhausted doctor deep into a night shift. This one call, it's going to set off this whole chain reaction, and it's going to shine a light on a huge blind spot. Not just in medicine, but really in how we all connect with each other. So let's set the scene. Imagine it's 1:30 in the morning. You know that weird, quiet hour in a hospital? It's like the whole building is just holding its breath. All the usual chaos is gone. The hallways are just empty. It's the perfect, almost eerie setting for a pop quiz that nobody was ready for. And boom, that's when the phone rings. The call is short, to the point, and it's basically every young doctor's nightmare. A patient wants to leave, against medical advice, and he wants to leave right now. Okay, so you need to understand, the stakes here are super high. This isn't some minor thing. The patient, let's call him Mr. Carter, he has uncontrolled diabetes, a serious foot infection, he's got a fever, and he's literally still hooked up to an IV. I mean, for him to just walk out that door, it would be a complete catastrophe. But here's the thing, the really important part. Mr. Carter isn't just trying to be difficult. He's scared. He's frustrated. And more than anything, he feels completely invisible. So this isn't about him disagreeing with his treatment. It's a complete and total breakdown of communication. He just feels like nobody is listening to him. And that brings us to the key moment, the interaction that changes everything. In this super high-pressure situation, faced with an angry, scared patient, our young doctor's mind, it just goes blank. And he's about to make a really, really big mistake. And this is where it all goes wrong. The doctor, he saw a logistical problem, a box to check, a form to fill out. But the patient, he was sending up a flare, a human cry for help that had absolutely nothing to do with procedure and everything to do with just wanting to be seen. He didn't stop to ask the simplest but maybe the most powerful question there is. What do you need? Nope. Instead, he reached for the paperwork, the against medical advice form. He tried to solve a human problem with a piece of paper. And yeah, he completely missed the point. So the next morning, the sun comes up and the reality of what happened really starts to sink in. And now we get to break down exactly what went wrong, not just on a human level, but on a procedural one too. Because believe it or not, there's a whole system in place designed to stop this exact thing from happening. So what is the right way to handle something like this? It's a great question, right? Because our doctor clearly just sidestepped the whole system. So let's take a look at the playbook he should have been following from the start. It's called the AMA protocol. AMA stands for Against Medical Advice. And it's basically a 5-step plan designed to protect everybody involved. You've got 1, assess if the patient can even make this decision clearly. 2, listen to them. 3, get a senior doctor involved. 4, try to reduce any harm if they insist on leaving. And 5, the last step, document everything. But let's zero in on the most important step for this story. Step 2, listen to the patient. This is the part that's supposed to replace just shoving a form in someone's face. It's about, putting the clipboard down, maybe pulling up a chair and just listening. Because here's the secret. Most of the time, the patient doesn't actually want to leave. What they're really desperate for is just to be heard, to be understood, to feel like they matter. That one simple act can de-escalate the whole thing because you're finally addressing the real problem. And the real problem is almost always fear or frustration, not some deep desire to just walk out the door. So you can see the lesson our young doctor learned that night, it went way deeper than just some 5-step protocol. It was about something much, much bigger, something fundamental about what his job really is. I mean, wow, that sentence really says it all, doesn't it? That AMA form wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a symbol that the relationship, the trust between the doctor and the patient had totally and completely broken down. He didn't just discharge a patient. He basically gave up on his responsibility to even try to connect. And that's why this story ultimately isn't just for doctors and nurses. It's a really powerful reminder for all of us, for every single one of us. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a coworker, a friend, a family member. The core lesson is exactly the same. It really all boils down to this one question.
When we're faced with someone else's frustration or their fear, do we reach for the easy out, the procedural solution, the paperwork? Or do we stop, take a breath, and actually see the person who's standing right in front of us? It's a question we should all probably ask ourselves long after the clipboards have been put away.